Here we go, live again. Hi, this for prosperity and future. People will remember me as the guy that tried to share some truth. I wanted to share something I found. As you know, I read a lot of law stuff, so I thought this was pretty neat. It's about a government and government power. Government, all governments, uh, derive their powers from the consent of the governed. John Locke's second treatise of government is the basis for most of the Declaration of Independence. And you can look that up in paragraph 222. Um, the reason why men enter into society is preservation of their liberty and property. It can never be supposed to be the will of the society that the legislative should have a power to destroy that which everyone designs to secure by entering into society. This holds true also concerning the executive branch, who have a double trust put in him, acts also contrary to his trust when he employs the offices of government to cut up the government by the roots and poison the very foundation of public security. John Locke's second treatise of government, as his last chapter, the topic of dissolution of government, the suggestion that government would not obey the laws would be politics inconceivable to human capacity and inconsistent with human society. There is a maximum law that things should be called by their correct terminology, and our government doesn't do that for us. They trick us with their words because they have different meanings than what we think. We speak layman English, they speak legalese. But unfortunately, legalese is written the same as English. And people need to wake up. A law dictionary does not define terms the same as Webster's dictionary. The same word doesn't mean the same in each dictionary. Go on now, I'm sorry. Like I said, there's a maximum law that things should be called by the correct terminology, and another maximum that words not be accepted to import a false definition. When the judge says, "Do you understand?" he means stand under. That would be one definition of a false definition because we all take the word understand to mean that we understand something, not that we're standing under something, not that we're surrendering something, not that someone is above us. Um, and because of that, of course, they're not using the correct terminology. They've also forgotten there's another maximum, and it's that, or how should I say it? No, sorry. The legal industry would not exist today if the legislatures had obeyed these simple maximums and kept the correct name of their abomination. A rule of statute construction, especially if there is no legislated express word of nullity to prove that a law changed the original intent. And here's your cool words for court. The judge will like to hear this. Verba debent, intelligii, cum infectu ut re megi velit quam purit. Words ought to be understood with effect, that a thing may be rather be preserved than destroyed. Our law comes from Roman. They're always talking about capitalism. They're always talking about democracy. Well, this is why. And they have to follow this shit. And they did something a few years back that a lot of people don't know. They made this language dead. So when you speak in this language, the words cannot change into a million meanings like they've done with English and other languages around the world. You also need to know that words are to be understood with reference to subject matter. When you're going into a court for anything that's legal, you are going into a court of a jurisdiction of subject matter. Subject matter is a book. Subject matter is Mickey Mouse. Subject matter is McDonald's. Subject subject matter is not a live human being. That's why they need your name. That's why you have that birth certificate. They're not dealing with you, they're dealing with the paper, the fiction. And you believe that fictional characters can rule you, rob you, throw you in jail, do whatever they want. When we're all humans and we're all equal and none of us have special powers or special privileges or any of that fucked up words. Years ago, if you weren't a slave, the word privilege didn't exist. It only existed on poor peasants and slaves, people that had nothing, people that were always in want, people that were in debt, people with low education. You know, I hate saying that because, I'm no better than none of you. I just want to get this truth out so I can become a better man and make sure that I'm a better man to be better to all of you. I would like to continue the subject matter commerce jurisdiction, as you would like to say, which is what the state constitution allows the government to regulate. Like I said, it's not you, it's not your body. You're not. It's dead. Statutes do not regulate freedom or liberty, if you want to call it liberty. Statutes cure liberty or freedom. Your states or provinces' legislative enactments must be for one single objective purpose, confirms that it is for commerce and is subject a proposed instruction in order rightly to comprehend a thing. Inquire first into names. Remember I told you about the names? And the Romans, they knew a little bit about that too. And there's a saying that says, ad recta docta docentem opriet prium incurae nomiani quae reum. I'm not very good at Latin. Orito enumius risum dipiet. In order rightly to comprehend a thing, inquire first into the names. For a right knowledge of things depends upon their names. Now, part of this direct quote from the syllables in a case from Virginia Supreme Court. Thompson versus Smith, 154 SE 579, SE 579, 155 VA 367 in 1930. But Virginia had it that the right to travel, and this was about a right to travel. Oh, wow. Ordinary conveniences of the day is a right that a city may not prohibit at will. The right of a citizen to travel upon the road or any public highway to transport his property therein in an ordinary course of life and business is a common right, which as is right to enjoy life and liberty, to acquire and possess property, and to pursue happiness and safety. It includes the right, in so doing, to use the ordinary and usual conveyances of the day. This right is not a mere privilege, which a city may permit or prohibit at will. Now, I'm not going to go any farther in that kind of stuff, but governments will use many deceptions to try to rob you of your rights. And I'm doing my damnedest to fight these people to get back our rights because we need, without rights, this country will not last. In a world where people are ruled, there'll always be a small group that will get control and they will create chaos. And it will never be fair and just until men can live their lives free, total free, to make their own mistakes, to make their own lives, choose their own destinies, earn from their own energy, not have to give taxes because someone else needs it. Give your money to where you want to give it. No one should be allowed to force you. Taxation is stealing. There has never been a law written that says you have to pay taxes. There has been statutes or rules, but they only go on persons. They only go into commerce jurisdiction of business, not live human beings. But most of us don't know how to word that and stand up in court for ourselves and make sure that we stand in human instead of person. So we lose all the time because we don't know their word game. And I'm hoping to change that because you should be able to go into a court. You shouldn't need a lawyer for anything that's legal. So you should be able to just talk straight out, and you can't. So That means they're scamming you, they're robbing you of your money and your freedoms, and you honestly believe that they're allowed to do it for some reason. Um, I know why, and you're not going to like what I say, but the truth is, it's because you send your children to public schools, which is controlled by them. And they're taught from day one to obey anyone that's authority. Please, please respect. They're your heroes. That's why the country is trillions of dollars in debt. That's why we've locked up hundreds of millions of children for smoking a leaf, not hurting a soul, not harming anyone, not even themselves. That's why we've sent men who have no authority to go kill other men, because we believe that some humans, because they have labels in a building, have the authority to give those men power to go kill when they're just men and women. If they were Martians in the building, maybe I could say, yeah, look, we have a government. Or if you were smart enough to elect educated men and women that had your best interests, maybe then we could say, yes, there's a just for government. There will never be a justification for government as long as government has power and the people don't have it. That, my friend, is slavery. I don't care if you like it. You may even be comfortable in your slavery. And you may believe that you're not, but you are, as long as you have a birth certificate and a contract in this society. Your SIN card, all the money that they take off of that social insurance number goes to the Queen. It doesn't stay here in Canada. And same thing in America. Your social security number, all the money goes to the Queen. Weird, isn't it? All the income tax you pay, none of it stays there. You don't have real money. You only have paper IOUs, which create debt, administrative crap, like your legal, administrative, fictional courts that you use to rob and enslave the people. One day, these lawyers and policemen and judges and the people of that bar society and the government, you will wake up because one day society will wake up. And it may not be in our lifetimes, I don't know. But I know my history. And you don't have to take this to heart. You don't have to believe a word I say. But there's lots of examples of where human beings have played roles of power and abused other human beings. And years down the road, the children or grandchildren of those human beings remembered how horrible those human beings were. Now, they didn't get to attack or abuse or rob or steal or whatever, get redemption on those human beings that were dead. But they did put the blame on those human beings that were kin to them that were alive. And it didn't turn out well. In Russia, they took a family of politicians. I think he was a king, and they brought in all his family, his wife, and his children, and they stand them all up in a little room, and then three or four men took out guns and they shot them all for what they had done to the Russian people, even their 10-year-old children, 15-year-old daughter, whatever. It didn't matter. They were all executed for crimes of treason, for crimes of murder, rape against their own people. Men and women are not intelligent enough to rule each other. We never will be. And I don't know why people are foolish enough to believe that we will. And if you're watching a movie on African slavery and you're going, oh my, that is so bad. Oh, that's so horrible what those people are doing to those people. And you don't recognize that you're a slave, it doesn't matter what color you are. I'm talking about now. You have a very, very sick mind and distorted, and you're not really educated in proper knowledge, and it's not your fault. When men rule others by force, that's slavery. So the next time you say no to your government, if they don't come out with any guns and they don't seize any property belonging to you, and drag you in court because you said, I don't want to follow you. I don't like your new act or stat. Then I'll say you're not a slave. But if you walk out that door right now and you try to stand up for your human rights, like the one to travel, simple. Well, nowadays, freedom of speech, or even take a camera and go take some pictures on the sidewalk, on public sidewalk, of course. Don't get on no one's property, in front of a government building or a store, and see how fast people will try to violate your rights and abuse you. That's no different than Nazi Germany. It's no different than Stalin's Russia. And now they're programming you to, how do they say it? Well, if I'm not wearing a mask, you'll rat me out. And of course, that will be good. That's because you're being, if you follow that rule, yeah, down the road, if I'm not vaccinated, of course, you'll rat me out. Uh, and you'll be no different than the Germans when they ratted out where the Jews were hiding and they took them away to be burned. We're not in a good world. We're in a crazy time right now, and we don't have much time left. And I love humanity, and I love my species, the human race. I don't believe in colors. I believe in one race. And I believe and stand for human rights and freedoms that were given to us by our forefathers through blood and sacrifice and death. And if you don't want to honor that, that's okay. That's your choice. But we need to come to a point where there's a lot of us in this world that do honor human rights. And we don't need to live with people that don't. We don't need to go to war with you. We don't need to fight you or harm you. Just leave us alone and let us separate from you. And you enjoy your life and we'll enjoy ours. Because no man has a right to rule another man's life. No man has a right to own another man. No man has a right to be a master over any human being. Thank you for your time. I'm going to sign out. I'll be back again with some more uh, things to share and hopefully help people. Oh, just mention before I go about the all capitalized name on your birth certificate. It is not even a proper noun. I hope you know that, right? Once you confess to an all capitalized name, you declare yourself to be an incompetent. A ward of a court must be represented, even if you want to represent yourself. Non proper noun. And of course, you are presumed incompetent if you do not know your own name. A little bit of Latin to leave you with. Fatius presumitia qui in proprieto nomi erat. A person is presumed to be incompetent who makes a mistake in his own name. That is, he does not know his own name. And the word include, I'll leave with that one too because I like to share shit. Uh, Fatimus proximitia qui in procto proprio, nomen erat. The word include can be confusing. Don't be fooled. Law dictionaries define it as, now this is the Latin, includere, to shut in, to keep within, to confine within. Old as in a closure. Take in, attain, shut up, contain, enclose, comprise, comprehend, embrace, involve, including may, according to text, express an enlargement and have the meaning of an addition to, or merely specify a particular thing already included within the general words therefore used. That's why words are so important to know their meaning. They only have one. And if you don't understand that now, I hope you do in the future because we do have a maximum law and it's not confusing. Quod non aperiet non est. This which appears not is not. So when you look at the word include, it is not what you think. Namaste and peace out from this 49-year-old newfie that's trying his best to stay happy, stay free, and hopefully bring some knowledge and help to my fellow man.